And what is up, everyone? Welcome back to the JSS Amp Dyno. Today I got something new for you. Some fresh power from Ruthless. This is their new 2-channel, yet to be released. We're calling it 4,000 watts for now. It is 1 ohm stable each channel or 2 ohm stable bridged. So we will see what this does today. Let me know your guesses, post them now. And I'll catch you over on the dyno. Alright guys, here we are on the bench with the Ruthless 4,000 watt 2-channel. We are going to get right into this. We're going to do certified, where the dyno will stop reading if it sees 1% distortion or clipping. Then we'll run uncertified, where the dyno will keep reading even if there's distortion or clipping present. Then we'll finish with dynamic, which is a burst or pulse track for the dynamic power. And then maybe we'll do some other stuff at the end here, but let's get started. We're gonna do certified. I'm running this in stereo, 2 channels. We're gonna start at 4 ohms. I have no ratings for this right now. We're at 14.9 volts starting. I was asked to stay in that 14 to 15 volt area, dropping into low 14, so hopefully that's where we stay. But let's go ahead and do this. We're at 4 ohms, 14.9 volts, 2 channels. Let's see what this does. Again, it's the Ruthless. They're calling it a 4,000 for now. Let's see what we get. And we get 1,057 watts into 4 ohms, dropping to 14.7 volts. So that is some pretty serious power already. We will continue. I'm going to go into 2 ohm stereo. That is 2 ohms per channel. We're at 14.89 volts. Expect a lot of power here, maybe 4,000 watts total. Let's see what we get. Here we go. The Ruthless 4,000. And we get 1,824 watts into 2 ohms, dropped to 14.6 volts. So that is 3,600 watts, 3,700 watts total. That is a ton of power for a 2-channel amp. So we will move on. I'm told to go ahead and do this 1 ohm stereo. So we will. 1 ohm. Stereo, we're at 14.85 volts starting. Let's see what this does. I'm a little scared here. This might be the biggest 2-channel I've ever ran. Here we go. Ruthless 4,000 2-channel. And there you have it. 2,800 watts into 1 ohm, dropping to 14.45 volts. I know that second channel is lagging a little. That sometimes happens on these dual channel testing. But we got 2,800 watts out of that. That is crazy. So I'm just gonna pull my meter for a minute. We will go into uncertified. And 2 channels. We're gonna again start at 4 ohms. All right, 14.97 volts starting. Here we go. This is the Ruthless 4,000 2-channel. See what it does uncertified at 4 ohms. All right, 1,069 watts into 4 ohms, dropping to 14.7 volts. Solid again. And 2 ohms. We're at 14.89 volts starting. I think we got 1,700 watts before. Let's see what we get this time. Here we go. Uncertified, we'll go into clipping. Dyno won't stop reading just because there's clipping. All right, we're able to get a little more out of it that time. 1,855 watts into 2 ohms, dropped to 14.54 volts. And we will finish uncertified with 1 ohm stereo. We're down to 14.79 volts starting, that's fine. Here we go, let's see what this does at 1 ohm uncertified. We get 2,851 watts into 1 ohm. Dropped to 14.27 volts. That is pretty crazy power. I am pretty surprised, to be honest. I knew Benjamin had something cooking, so I shouldn't be too surprised, but that is a lot of power. Let's get into dynamic. Again, we're going to start with 4 ohm. And let me change tracks here. All right, dynamic burst power at 1 ohm. I'm sorry, at 4 ohms. We're at 14.9 volts starting. Let's see what we get for burst power. Here we go. Over 1,000 watts. We got 1,064 watts into 4 ohms. We dropped to 14.7 volts. Not bad at all. And the 2 ohm burst power, we're at 14.85 volts starting. Here we go. 2 ohms stereo. I think that's about all we'll see there. 1,831 watts into 2 ohms, dropped to 14.5 volts. And we will finish with 1 ohm dynamic. We're at 14.7 volts starting. Here we go, let's see what we get. Stereo 1 ohm on the Ruthless 4000. Here we go. How about that? 3,066 watts into 1 ohm. 2 channels, we dropped to 14.5 volts. That is some serious power. Over 6,000 watts out of this Ruthless 4K. So that is it for the dyno testing today, guys. If you want to hang on just a second, we'll get a look inside the amp. We'll go from there. Appreciate you guys. Alright, so I know you guys better than to just end a video like that. So I did do some more testing, and we'll show you some more testing. I did test the 1 kilohertz stuff. I know a lot of you guys are going to be using this to drive, you know, your stunt walls or whatever. I didn't really see any dramatic change in the higher frequency testing, but what I haven't done yet is the bridged testing. So I've rewired this to a bridged configuration. We're going to run it in single channel mode now. 2 ohms is the lowest this is rated for bridged, but I figured let's go ahead and let's see what this does in bridged mode. So we're going to start with certified. We're mono now. 2 ohms is the minimum. We're at 14.8 volts starting. Let's go ahead and see what this does bridged at 2 ohms. Here we go. Dang, 5,295 watts into 2 ohms, dropped to 14.4 volts. That was certified. That is pretty good power. So we will move on. I'm going to hit this with an uncertified 2 ohms. We're at 14.87 volts starting. Here we go. 2 ohms uncertified. We should see a bit over 5,000 watts. And we do, I may have even stopped it early there. 5,622 watts into 2 ohms. Dropped to 14.28 volts. That is crazy power for 2 ohms. in most cases you would be getting a much bigger amp than you need if you're trying to get that kind of power at 2 ohms. So let me go back to dynamic. And we're running bridged 2 ohms. All right, dynamic burst power, 2 ohms bridged. We're at 14.86 volts starting. Here we go. Let's see what it does. Crazy. 6,100 watts into 2 ohms, dropped to 14.45 volts. So that is everything I've got as far as dyno testing for you guys. I'm gonna take a break here and we'll get a look inside the amp. I'll catch you guys back on the bench in just a second. All right, guys, back on the bench with the Ruthless 4K 2 channel. You can get a look inside of it. It is S&I Korean. It is very well made. Wouldn't expect anything less from the Ruthless guys. It is a good looking amp. It does look similar to their other boards. So if you were running plexi plates or anything, everything would match. Looks really good. So on this side, we have, I believe these are going to be 1-aught power and ground inputs. I like to use 2-aught welding cable on most things, and I really had to jam it in there. So I think on this amp, it's safe to say these are 1-aught, not 2-aught. But you may be able to fit the 2-aught in there. And then we have, I'm going to call these 10 gauge speaker outputs. I don't think they're quite 8 gauge, but I was able to jam 2 leads of 10 gauge in there when I bridged it. So the business end of things is here. You've got Tiffany style RCAs. You have stereo input and output. You've got your gain knob. And here you've got your crossovers. Now you can see you've got an X1 or an X10 switch on both the high pass and the low pass. And you can see on X1, the high pass is 20 hertz to 800 hertz. And the low pass is 50 to 800 hertz. And with that switch to the times 10, you're in the high frequency. So you're looking at 200 hertz to 8,000 hertz high pass filter, and a 500 hertz to 8,000 hertz low pass filter. And I was running this open while I was on the dyno. Then you have a plug for your bass knob and power protect and clip light. I did notice the clip light was lighting up when the dyno was, but I wasn't watching them, in live time, so I don't know if they're exactly the same. But that is a good thing to have, that clip light. One thing to note, the bottom plate does have a fan on it, and it came with a bass knob and a cord. It looks like my bass knob got misplaced, but it is the same bass knob that comes with the other Ruthless amps. It's an aluminum bodied bass knob with a big knob on it. So that is everything I have for the new Ruthless 4K 2 channel. Let me know what you guys think of this. I think this is a very sweet amp, and I will probably be running one of these myself. So again, drop your thoughts below. Let me know what you guys want to see next. I do want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys so much while I've been away. I know it sucks that I'm not posting regular videos. I'm really trying, but life has hit me hard. So I really want to thank you guys that have stuck by. I really appreciate it. Hit the like button if you would. Hit the subscribe button if you would, so that you know when I post a new video. Hit the bell so you get notified. Again, I appreciate you guys. I'll see you next time.